Hi, I'm Sylvia from Vintage Kitchen Vixen, where I share tips for simple living, creating memorable gatherings, and preparing wholesome and traditional recipes with a vintage twist. And today I'm doing more of a Christmassy episode, and I'm not preparing a recipe and I'm not giving you any tips for simple living today, but I am going to talk about something that can either contribute to your gatherings or at the very least add some holiday cheer to your Christmas this year. So I don't know if you know this about me, but I am of German heritage, and growing up there were always German treats around the house around Christmas and often in our stockings. So today I'm going to be sharing my favorite Christmas treats with you that you can add to your stockings or that you can add on your holiday plates. So I don't know how many of these that you can get online. I'm going to try to find links and add them below so that you can get your own goodies if you so wish. Otherwise, you should be able to find most of these things if you have a European delicatessen or a German deli somewhere in your neighborhood or in your city. Anyhow, we're going to get started because I have a few here because I couldn't just decide on one. And by the way, I don't speak German, so if any of my pronunciation is off, please forgive me. I think most of you won't care so much, but I think I have a few German viewers, so you can correct me. All right? Okay, so the first treat that's up, I'm just going to grab in the basket and we'll go from there. But the first treat that is up are lebkuchen Herzen. So these are they're gingerbread hearts. They're coated in chocolate, and you have an apricot jam filling inside. So I'm going to open this up. That means I'm going to have to eat the whole bag within the next couple of weeks because they won't stay good. I'm going to share them. I'm just joking. But you open them up. Oh my gosh, it just smells like Christmas, guys. Okay, but I'm going to open it up. And you have this little heart. And you can just take a bite out of it. Oh. So good. So really, this is a video of me eating in front of you, and I am known to eat on camera periodically from time to time, but it's normally my own cooking. It's not treats that I buy from the store. Because normally I am a big advocate of reading labels, but when it comes to German Christmas treats, I can't read. Oh, I can read the labels. There's a lot of stuff in here that normally I would not buy. But Christmas comes but once a year. These are really soft, they're not crunchy, they're coated in a dark chocolate, so you have something it's not too sweet. I mean, it's still sweet, but you have that spicy, sweet gingerbread, and then you have that little kick from the apricot jam, and then the chocolate. It's a beautiful mouthful. And you definitely want to have these on your plates. So good. Okay, next up, these are really fun. They're little, let's see if I can pronounce this. Schokoladenkränze. I don't know what Kränze means. My mom is probably going to call me up and say shame on you, Sylvia, but they're just these little chocolate discs. And they're covered in sprinkles. I don't know if you can see that. It's okay. If you can't see it, that's all right. There are going to be lots of pictures on my blog. So the link to this post is below in the description if you want to give that a look. But they're just really small, tiny things. But I love them. I mean, the chocolate and sprinkles. Kids love them. And that's why I love that, because I ate a lot of these when I was a kid. Next up, we have dominoes. No, not the game. These are little chocolate squares. The cubes. Umhüllt mit Zartbitter. I don't know what Zartbitter is. Zartbitter Schokolade. That's chocolate. Doppelt gefüllt. Well, I'm in trouble. So I used to think that these things had gingerbread inside. I'm not so sure anymore. These little dominoes are layered inside. It's just this tiny little cube. See, it's just perfect for popping in your mouth and eating. Or biting into. So they're enrobed in chocolate. And you probably can't see this. If you can't, I'm sorry. You probably can't because I'm really far away. And if I zoom in too fast, you're just going to see a blurry image because my camera's not the best. Anyhow, you have this layer of marzipan, then you have a layer of that apricot jam that you find in a lot of German Christmas treats. And I don't think it's gingerbread, but then you have this little cake at the bottom that's holding everything together. And growing up, I used to find my mom's stash of these, and I swear I could eat a whole tray of these, and then I would just try to hide my wrongdoing, but she always found me out. When treats were involved in my house, there was no safe place to hide them. I found all of my mom's hiding spots. I'm excellent at hide and go seek. So if my mom bought like a box of Halloween candy after it was on sale after Halloween, I would find it. And I would spend like the next month just sneaking in there after school and grabbing a handful of chocolate bars and bribe my brothers with them. And then my mom would find out that all the Halloween candy was gone. So she never learned, and neither did I. Anyhow, it was the same thing with the German treats, but showed a lot more self-restraint with the German Christmas treats because I know that they're a lot better than the Halloween candy, and my mom would have gotten furious with me. Okay, next up, these are my absolute favorite. They are marzipan potatoes. They're just these tiny little marzipan balls that look like potatoes, and I don't know, they're really funny and they're bite-sized, and it's just marzipan. That's all it is, that like potatoes, and they are wonderful. And in terms of marzipan that's shaped into things, the beautiful thing is you can buy all kinds of things. So here I have this little marzipan pig. It's the perfect little stocking stuffer. And so are these. My mom always includes them in my stocking because I still get a stocking for some reason. Thanks, Mom. So here I have this marzipan pig. And if you have a good German deli near you, you can find all kinds of like marzipan shapes and sizes. You can get like marzipan pears and marzipan bananas and all kinds of marzipan creations. Okay, my basket is starting to run low. Next up, we have oblaten lebkuchen cookies. So you can get these cookies with different coatings on them. There's one that has like a glaze, another one has a different glaze, and then you have one that's covered in chocolate, and so that's my favorite one. So if I open this up, my mom always gets the mixed packs, but I always eat the chocolate ones first. These ones are my favorite. So these are gingerbread again. There's no filling in these ones, but they're on these little wafer, and I have a box of them because I just like, oh, we're gonna get back to this. I have a box of these wafers because I love eating them as is. They're the same thing as a host that you get in some churches. And that was my favorite part about communion when I was a kid, was that I could walk away with one of these. They are not snacks though. That's what I treat these as. I love eating them as is. They don't taste like anything, but I don't know, I could eat a whole box full of these without giving it another thought. But really, they're supposed to be meant for baking, so you can put little macaroons on these or other little treats that need some kind of foundation, like these cookies. So see, you have one on the bottom. So they do serve a purpose. One thing I like doing, and I'm probably going to regret this a lot because it's really silly, but one thing that I like doing with my son is being a duck. No. Okay, anyhow, they're called backoblaten, and you can get different sizes. You have these oblaten, see, oblaten lebkuchen, and if I just break it open, you have gingerbread enrobed in chocolate. I have to say, out of all the Christmas treats, these are my least favorite. I mean, they're still really good. These are my least favorite because there's no marzipan in them and there's no apricot jam. But still, I hope that won't turn you off from that. A couple more treats. So, marzipan Stollen. I'm starting to see this more and more at bakeries. Don't normally like going out and buying a loaf, but I wanted to show you what it is, and I will cut off a slice and show you what that looks like on the website, so you can take a look at that a little bit later by following that link. And I gotta fix my dress. I'm really sorry. Okay, so this is almond stollen or marzipan stollen, and it's a fruit and nut bread. Actually, are there nuts in here? Oh my gosh, there's all kinds of other stuff in here that I normally wouldn't buy. You know, the thing is, okay, there are almonds in here. The thing is, I want to make my own. I have never made stollen before, but I have my Oma's recipe, and this year I am going to work on making my own loaves of stollen, because these are really expensive when you buy these in store. This loaf is $9, and it's full of garbage ingredients. My Oma's stollen is the best, and I'm going to experiment with the recipe, and next year I'm going to have a recipe for a homemade stollen so that you don't have to buy yours at the store and you can figure out how to make it yourself. But I just love having this on a plate. It's great when you're having coffee during the holidays. If you have somebody over, you can cut up a few slices of stollen and serve them with coffee, because it's kind of like a cake. And when I make eggnog French toast, my husband joked once, and he's just like, you should make it with stollen. And I'm like, that's way too decadent, because it's more of a cake than a bread. I guess it's a combination of the two. It's a cake bread. It's a dessert bread. So that would have been super decadent with French toast, but I guess you could do it. My husband would do it. But I think my eggnog French toast is decadent enough with bourbon maple syrup. Last but not least, we have it again. We have marzipan. I'm a huge fan of marzipan. I'm guilty. This is just a brick of marzipan, and it's covered in chocolate. It's like a chocolate marzipan log, and it's wonderful. You can just slice it into pieces and put it on your little Christmas trays. These also make wonderful stocking stuffers, and if you're a monster like I am, you can just take bites of it throughout the day or throughout the week, and forget about slicing it. So those are my favorite Christmas treats. As a recap, we have these little chocolate covered marzipan logs. We have almond stollen, which again is kind of like a fruit cake, but not at all like a fruit cake. It's very light, and you have nuts and you have marzipan in it, and just you wait until you have my Oma's recipe. We have oblaten lebkuchen, gingerbread that's covered in chocolate, and then they have other ones available that are glazed. Marzipan potatoes, a marzipan pig, because you can get marzipan in different shapes and sizes. Oh, that's my eating thing. Lebkuchen Herzen, gingerbread hearts. Just a box of oblaten, little wafers. And you can be a duck around your kids. These chocolate sprinkle discs. The Schokoladenkranze mit Nonpareil. Those are sprinkles. I know that. I don't know how I know that. I think it's because of French. And then these little dominoes, and I have like little treats all over the place, which I'm going to eat as soon as I'm done here. And then you have these little chocolate dominoes with what I think is gingerbread, apricot jam, marzipan, and then covered in chocolate. Those are my favorite treats. I hope I have inspired you to try some of these out for yourself. I really hope I can find links to these so that you can either order them online, but I'm sure you can locate your nearest European delicatessen to pick some up for yourselves. But that's it from me for today. If you are new to my channel and you liked what you saw, I hope you will subscribe and hit the bell notification. Normally I do this thing called silent film mode when I'm filming recipes, but I'm not filming a recipe today, so there's no silent film mode. But if you are curious to know what that is, check out one of my recipe videos. I'll include one here that will be popping up soon if it hasn't popped up already. So just check that out and you can see what silent film mode is all about. And if you want to show your support, you can like this video by hitting the thumbs up, you can leave a comment, or you can share this to your social media or to somebody who you think would like this video. And speaking of social media, you can also find me on Facebook and Instagram if you want to see what I'm up to throughout the week. Other than that, I post 2 new videos a week, so I will be seeing you real soon. Bye!